Recently in Hanoi, the Ministry of Home Affairs, in coordination with the United Nations in Vietnam, celebrated World Youth Day, August 12th, with the theme Vietnamese Youth Partners Contribute to Sustainable Development. The event focused on the dialogue between elite youth representing the voice of 25 million young people in Vietnam with senior leaders of ministries, departments of the government and youth union.
Tôi mong rằng là qua cái sự kiện ngày hôm nay thì các cấp chính quyền đã có thể lắng nghe những cái ý kiến từ giới trẻ và xây dựng những chương trình phù hợp với các bạn trẻ hơn để các bạn có thể trở thành những nhân tố góp phần vào sự phát triển của xã hội.
Vietnam is currently experiencing a golden population structure, recorded the largest youth population in history, with about 25 million young people aged 16 to 30, accounting for over 25% of Vietnam's population. Youth is the most powerful agent to create positive change and played a key role in the process towards a 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shang Vietnam on VTC10 Net Viet. In the episodes among August, we want to dedicate a special episode about International Youth Day with the theme of the role of youth for sustainable development, especially towards gender equality, with the presentations from Ms. Shoko Ishikawa, the representatives of UN Women in Vietnam. Thank you, Ms. Shoko, for joining our program today. The theme for this year's International Youth Day is the youth role in sustainable development. How do you view these issues in Vietnam, a country with the majority of population is youth?
So indeed, the young people, it's a very significant political constituency, a social group. Developing youth as well as encouraging youth to be part of solving these issues around sustainable development is essential. They need to maximize their potential through their education, through training opportunities. We also need to address very particular issues that challenge young people, like issues around reproductive and sexual rights, where they don't get much access to information around those areas. But if we don't address the challenges that young people face right now, then they won't be able to be successful members of the society. And so I feel very strongly that the young generation needs to be part of our solution for sustainable development, not just as recipients, but as people who would provide recommendations into policy making and also express what their needs are.
From the view of UN Women, an UN agency for gender equality, how do you view the role of youth in promoting gender equality worldwide, especially in Vietnam?
Well, the root cause of gender inequality is the values and the ideas, the very traditional ideas that society hold about what is an appropriate behavior and the role that men and women play. The young generation, they are the opportunity for the society to make changes to these very rigid ideas. And if young people can experiment, if they could experience a diversity of values and opinions, then gradually the whole society's way of thinking will transition, and that's what we need in gender equality. We need a whole new generation that thinks very differently about what women could do. Women don't necessarily have to be the ones that stay at home and are the primary caretakers in the whole household. They could be the breadwinners also, they could be leaders, they could be vocal. So these ideas, we could work with the young people because they are the most exposed through media, through the internet, to different ways of living and different ways of expressing yourself. So that's why in UN Women we work increasingly with young people and particularly young women.
What are some achievements of UN coordinations with Vietnamese youth in promoting gender equality?
Particularly, we've worked with young women to try and help them understand what are their rights, preparing them to be advocates on gender equality. So this had a relationship with some non-governmental organizations in Vietnam, some established ones, that went all the way to some international conferences to express their ideas. And this experience has been very encouraging for the young people in terms of seeing what feminist leadership is like and how they prepare themselves to be leaders in the future. And we have been running a program called the Change Makers, where we have a group of young people, both girls and boys, about university level, where they are trained to become trainers for their peers, so they could promote gender equality and respectful relationship between men and women in their universities and in their social groups. Some of these change makers have done different things. So for example, there was a group of deaf young people that had participated in our training, and they decided to create a music video with sign language to promote ending violence against women. And so trying to spread the message of non-violence amongst young people, for the deaf people particularly that don't have much information in that area. So the young people are very much using the social media to spread different messages.
That is a training of leaders from more than 30 youth clubs across the country to learn and share their experience in communication planning on gender equality and gender-based violence. Here, the students are equipped with the basic knowledge on gender and gender equality, how to identify forms of violence against women and girls in daily life, the root cause of violence as well as its consequences, and how to prevent violence against women and girls.
Em nghĩ là thanh niên Việt Nam là những người bạn trẻ, những người có những cái ý tưởng rất là hay. Những chiến dịch như đừng im lặng, chiến dịch hãy hét lên sao phải sợ, hay là đàn ông sẽ làm gì. Đó là những chiến dịch mà do những bạn học sinh, học viên mà do UN Women tuyển chọn khắp miền Bắc, miền Nam, miền Trung đã đến để được tập huấn, được nâng cao về kiến thức để hiểu rõ bình đẳng giới là gì. Sau qua đó các bạn sẽ lên ý tưởng và thực hiện chiến dịch của mình.
Đến nay thì các bạn trẻ, các bạn nam giới thì cũng đã cố gắng tìm hiểu, và chúng tôi thì cũng cố gắng là tìm tòi để sáng tạo có những cái không gian để các bạn tìm hiểu tốt hơn, có những chương trình để các bạn cảm thấy nó hấp dẫn, nó thú vị, bình đẳng giới nó trở nên là một cái gì đó nó mới mẻ, nó tươi trẻ đối với các bạn thanh niên. Thì như vậy thì nó sẽ tự nhiên đi vào đời sống của các bạn.
Các bạn rất là nhiệt huyết và các bạn rất là sáng tạo. Các bạn có rất là nhiều các cái ý tưởng và đồng thời là các bạn hiểu vấn đề rất nhanh. Bản thân các bạn ấy cũng có những cái trải nghiệm nhất định đối với cái vấn đề bạo lực từ khi còn nhỏ cho đến khi lớn và trong cái thời điểm hiện tại.
Tức là trong công việc thì các bạn nam và các bạn nữ thì đều mong muốn là mình có sự bình đẳng. Mình được tìm những công việc phù hợp với lại sở thích của mình. Bọn em là đi tế công cộng thì bọn em mong muốn là có thể góp sức mình để tuyên truyền rộng rãi hơn đến mọi người, nhất là những người vùng sâu vùng xa, là có thể có nhận thức tốt hơn về tình trạng y tế và cũng có điều kiện để nâng cao sức khỏe.
Vietnamese youth with dreams and ambitions for the future of Vietnam's society are becoming more and more proactive, proving their capabilities and role in solving the problems of the country. By no other than these future leaders to be the key for Vietnam to complete its vision of gender equality and sustainable development.
How do you view the enthusiasm and interest of Vietnamese youth towards gender equality activities? Is there any difficulties in bringing them into such public campaigns?
I think there's particularly an interest to work on these global issues and bring it home to Vietnam, and also to try and communicate to their peer student groups. I think some of the challenges relate to balancing it with their schoolwork, or if they finish university and go into the workplace, then they sort of get disconnected from the student activities. Also, I think connecting the young people from different universities into networks because of geographical distances is sometimes challenging. But I think social network, social media is definitely helping bring the young people around. The issue of, I think in Vietnamese society as well as in many of the Asian societies, there's that respect for the seniors, the seniority. So the voice of the senior leaders are much more respected than the younger people. So how to make the young people's opinions also valid is a challenge. So even when they speak in some events, they have a very short time frame or they are given just a space from the floor, but how to get them recognized really as a legitimate voice has been quite a challenge.
We have talked a lot about the models of change maker, which is a way to involve youth into initiatives for gender equality. How do you view about the potentials of replicate these models around universities in Vietnam, not just in the cities, but also in the provinces?
Our partnership with the Youth Union has been very important. I think without such an organization, it indeed is going to be very challenging. And what we are trying to do with the Youth Union is that these training modules on Changemaker, for example, it becomes part of a standard orientation manual for the youth volunteers. The Youth Union trains every year. We're just about to publish the Changemakers Toolkit that could be sent across to the different youth union groups and the university clubs. And I think you're very right that some of the interventions tend to focus on cities, but we've been very conscious to try and reach out to central highland areas, different universities in the different regions of Vietnam, and also to create a network between these different youth groups in different places.
How can the Vietnamese authorities work better with the youth union in order to bringing youth participations into addressing this matter in Vietnam?
The young people need to be recognized as a legitimate stakeholder. If there is a conference that is going abroad, for example, where we could support them going abroad, try and nominate a young people to go with a senior member so that the young people can also be exposed to international conferences and also the way that you negotiate in different areas. I think continuing to develop these youth clubs and strengthening them further and consistently inviting them into policy-making forums I think it's essential. And also conducting more evidence-based research with youth. But if we could look specifically at what are the challenges that young women face with the stigma that they face in terms of talking about sexuality, talking about sexual relationships, walking into a clinic as an unmarried woman, if we can try and find out where the barriers are and help the women express these into the policy makers through research, I think it is going to be very important. There is still a lack of research that goes into looking at the particular challenges of youth and adolescents. Well, I think particularly around issues on violence in school, sexual harassment at school, issues around sexual orientation, LGBT issues. It is a very difficult environment when it comes to schools because of peer pressure. Have particular programs to develop that sensitivity among the students, as well as the awareness of teachers to recognize, encourage open discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Shoko, for all of your sharing today. Youth is the inevitable drivers of gender equality towards sustainable development in Vietnam, and we hope that with the support from UN agencies, especially UN Women, youth can have a better voice, a bigger voice in the campaign, in the journey of gender equality achievements in Vietnam. Any questions and recommendations, please email to shangvietnam@netvietTV.net. Thank you and see you again.